I'm really curious. The question for you, Joe, is where are we today? Are we in a build? Are we in a buy? Are we in some, combination? Where, what are people both wanting to do and then actually doing? Because sometimes that can be a different thing too. I can want to buy something, but maybe I have some need. I have to build it, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's probably more hybrid than it was before, where most people, when I started, were just sort of licensing technology and then using that to do their distributions, and they would buy a platform essentially. And today, that's still there. It's certainly low risk, right? Developing
Yeah.
stuff is expensive. Building a team to develop stuff is very
Mhm.
cost
Mhm.
isn't very cost efficient, especially at the beginning. There's a lot of upfront before you see any results. So a lot of my clients, when they start, want to start with sort of this a white label solution.
Mm.
Let's go license something. Let's build some integration points maybe here and there to get our stuff working with their stuff, and let's just launch the service because time to market is obviously quicker too.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people did for a long time because the economics made sense. Because when you're streaming these big movies and people are watching them in the millions, it's easy to make those numbers work. And I think now as we're seeing distribution sort of spread out, those economics don't quite work, and the prices you have to pay to fully license all of your tech, and they just don't work for some of these movies from the 80s and 70s, and just stuff that's sort of sitting in that back catalog. So they're looking at new ways to do it, and we're getting this hybrid approach where we're doing a lot of integrations with lots of different partners who provide very specific pieces. And a lot of it is, where do you want to put your risk? Do you want to,
Yeah.
where can you tolerate the most risk as far as failures in technology, right? So if you're doing a live service and you're streaming live stuff, you want to keep that in the cloud. You want to keep that with a known provider. That's a risk, because if that goes down in the middle of your production, your service isn't going to have a very good
Mhm.
time, right? So we'll have a
Mhm.
lot of discussions about, hey, what can we offload on-prem and build for you and integrate with different partners and save you money, and
Mhm.
where can we not manage the risk, and where do we have to have
Mhm.
proven technology partners that can deliver? We know they can deliver. We don't have to test them out, and then we can get you to market as quick as we can. So it's hybrid again. I think there's a lot of people just having conversations about what to bring in house, what makes
Mhm.
sense, and those are complicated conversations, which is why we've had a lot of them lately. Because but when you did the OVP, you just called someone there, and you could have a couple people, and you could do the deal, and there you were done. So you didn't have to hire a team to make that work.
Yeah.
You could hire
Yeah.
a few people to get that done. And now when they're building
Yeah.
their own internal solutions, the teams get larger, the knowledge gets a little bit more technical. You have to build, you have to hire a much larger team to make that work. And it
Yeah.
works out when you do the numbers, but it's a complicated task. And it's so
Yeah.
you have a lot of old school people who still like the old way, where it was simple and easy. They just had to sign some deals and someone else ran it for them. And now you have these sort of new generation coming up that wants to
Mhm.
build it and help out. And they're all sort of come together and they're trying to figure it all out. And it's very different. Everyone does it a little differently, but those are the conversations we're having.